Ahoy, and welcome to episode number 63 of the Chronicles of Tyria podcast, a Guild Wars 2 podcast for fans by fans. And as everybody knows, today be Talk Like a Pirate Day. So I don't have any pirate-like gear, so I'm actually going as an internet pirate, because that's the only thing that I kind of look like. But I'm here with Naveen and Bromms.
Arr, matey.
Ahoy! And all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see how fast we can annoy people with pirate talk.
I was gonna try and do the whole show, but I gave up on that about as quick as you saw.
I'm not sure if I can even talk like a pirate.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, I could get you an English to pirate translator if you want. You could type out everything you're gonna say, and it'll.
No, I'll deal with that. Also, I'd like to advise the watcher on Twitch TV, because we are live every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on twitch.tv/Chronicles of Tyria. I just updated XSplit, and it's very laggy. I don't know what they did, but they changed something in Matrix. So, deal with it. Arg.
Yeah, arg. So we actually, believe it or not, mostly due to my incessant annoying everybody to submit a question of the week answer, we got quite a few. If you tuned in last week, you found out that the question of the week was name your top 5 gaming-related YouTube channels, why you like them, and we would go through and we'd give you ours as well. So we're going to start, and turns out actually this is going to probably be a pretty short show, because as those of you know who downloaded the patch, there wasn't really much to speak on. So most of it's actually going to be held up by reading through people's question of the week stuff. So
All right.
sit back, relax, and listen to the smooth stylings of the three of us.
Smooth stylings of the three of us. I feel
Wow.
I thought you were going with
a jiggle.
I can see
Jingle.
your
Jiggle.
Jiggle? There could be a jiggle. There.
Oh! Nope.
Anyway. Alright, so first up, somebody else take pirates, because I can't pronounce a couple of his things. So you guys can go with that.
Can I take it, since I can't pronounce anything at all?
Do it.
Ha! Awesome. Okay, so...
It's not that pronounced.
What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Okay. Part! So what are your top favorite gaming channels on YouTube? That's what we're doing. Part said, number 1, Arumba07. I only found this channel a little while ago. It focuses on RTS games, in particular Crusader Kings 2. I don't even know what Crusader Kings is. Oh, I'm horrible.
It's an RTS game, would be my guess.
Really?
About Kings that Crusade, I'm guessing.
Anyway, sorry,
This
continue.
uploader usually uploads a vid every 3 hours. What? What? Does he spend his life editing? That's crazy. The player is very experienced in CK2 and even makes his own mods. What's CK2?
Crusader Kings 2.
Oh. I'm not sure if I'm proud of it, but I've almost watched all of his 14,000 plus videos.
What?
14,000?
I'm pretty sure Pirate fakes working when he's at work.
That's a lot of videos.
Number 2, Gopher. I found this guy when I was playing Skyrim like there was no tomorrow. This uploader kind of has a few LPs. Oh, Let's Plays.
Yeah, there we go.
Thanks.
Acronyms.
Acronyms. I'm too old to know half of them. And where he RPs, I know that's role plays.
That's role plays, yeah.
His characters. And most vids in these LPs are 30-minute plus. Wow, he does watch a lot of videos. I'm pretty sure he contributes to their money making. He also makes his own and uses a lot of Skyrim mods. Every video really feels like an episode from a TV show. His LPs, Let's Plays, even have seasons. What?
Oh,
Okay. Number 3, Curious Gamers. I found this guy a long time ago. Nowadays, he mostly makes vids about his friends playing multiplayer games and just having fun, and usually talking like they are high on sugar. Oh man, I hate those. Mostly the randomness and less about the speed of talking, mind you. Oh, okay. Then that's fine. I don't want to, watch a gamer, Fred gaming. That would suck.
what?
Fred,
I got what you're
you don't know
saying.
who Fred is?
Don't-
There's a reference. Oh, there it goes.
No, just keep going. No Fred.
Okay.
I don't know.
Toby Games! Yes! A pretty known guy, I guess, fell in love with his Happy Wheels and Skyrim LPs. Let's Plays. He really is a nice nut job. Yeah, he is. And 5th CoTPodcast.
I heard that one was pretty cool.
It's all right, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know what they are.
What?
What's
Well, I don't
COT
see
mean? What's that acronym for? Some group of random and weird people talking about some WoW game or whatever. XD. Nah, in all seriousness, I at least watch all vids you guys put up and keep your Super Naveen song in my playlists. Who's Super Naveen song?
I think that's you.
Now I'm just waiting for COT Versus.
Yeah, that's in the
Yes.
process, guys. We're working on it. No one sent us any ideas, so we're gonna make up our own to start, and then we'll go from there.
I think isn't COT that
Did you sleep on, right?
Court of Thrones, right?
yeah, Court of Thorns or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Silvari Guild.
Thorns, yeah,
All
yeah.
up to
Not
Nightmare Court.
Thrones.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Lol.
All right.
Thanks,
next
Pirate.
Up, yes, thank you, Pirate, for
Your
for
contribution.
all of the sending. Be the first one, number 1 to send in
Alright.
yours. So good job. I'll take Robovin. He's up next.
Who?
My top 5 channels are hard to pick since my mood changes frequently, but at the moment these are my top 5, and I totally get that. Mine kind of jumps around. Mike B, aka Phony, great commentator, funny guy, and his vids are always worth watching, and helpful with instructional vids on games like Warframe, and his Indie for Breakfast series, which helps promote indie games and indie sales.
Oh, that's cool.
That's pretty good, yeah. Let's check this out. And we will be, if we can find them all and we have enough room, we're just going to massive link fest in the description when we put this video up on YouTube.
AKA Naveen's gonna work like a biatch.
Oh, maybe. I might end up doing it too. You never know.
Nice.
Is that another acronym that we don't know about?
What's AKA?
Chilled Chaos. Just full of pure silly and crazy gameplay with his friends or on his own. Just funny to watch. The Game Grumps / Steam Train rather. Again, more silly random gameplay featuring older and newer gamers. Game Grumps is another one that I also enjoy.
That is a cool channel.
Yeah.
I haven't watched Steam Train as much, but Game Grumps is pretty awesome.
The Achievement Hunter team from Rooster Teeth, like the name says, just play just a ton of Let's Plays and silliness. And number 5, the one and only COT podcast. With all the work I'm doing, playtime has shrunk significantly with all the IRL things. That means in real life, Naveen.
Oh, okay.
All the IRL things.
Girls.
So the channel is how I catch up with all Guild Wars 2 news I'm missing. And the comedy is always a bonus.
There's comedy?
I don't know. Not intentional, right?
No.
I don't know. That was a pretty serious podcast.
Yeah. All I have time for now. Back to work I go. Take care and good work as usual.
Yeah, thank you.
Ben.
Robovin.
Bromms, why don't you take Godric's?
I will do that. Hey guys and girls, Godric here. My top 5 gaming-related YouTube channels are as follows. AKA Mike B, which I think is the same one that Rolovin
Yeah, I
about,
think
right?
so.
I've been subscribed to Mike B for years and years now. This is his new channel as he's moved away from just WoW-related videos. He's always put out a lot of content regarding MMOs, which is always unbiased and fantastic.
Nice.
He now does a lot of indie game videos, which I think is a great thing. It gives independent developers extra exposure, and I've played many indie games that I would not have heard about without the heads up from Mike. Dtoid, my go-to show for gaming news and gossip, where I go to admire Max's new Hawaiian shirt. I don't know what that means, but okay. The show often gives me a laugh, and the hosts are truly gamers, not some prissy girl in a bikini like some other less desirable gaming news channels on YouTube.
Yeah, I know the ones he's talking about.
Rooster Teeth.
Again, that's another
Again?
crossover.
Jack and Jeff at AchievementHunter.com have always given me so many laughs. I don't even play a lot of Halo, and their videos are hilarious. The horse segment being my favorite. Everyone probably knows about them already, but they do all sorts of gaming-related content. Go Rooster Teeth. I've actually never heard about them, but I'll have to check them out.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
That's
I mean, yeah, I love that show. The Aussie Gamer, a homegrown, no bullshit channel that focuses on all aspects of the gaming channel needs with reviews, let's play series, and comedic purpose videos. This guy has a great attitude, has been putting out content of a high quality for quite a while now. And is that Des Pones?
Yeah.
I feel like
Des Pones, yeah.
All right. This is the last channel I would suggest. Des is a bit of a weirdo, but is still entertaining. The content can be hit or miss, but I still enjoy it for the most part. He enjoys the deeper aspects of gaming too, like the soundtracks and stuff. So yeah, that's my top 5 channels.
Cool.
So thanks, Goddard.
Thanks,
Thank you, Godric. Do you want to take an Avery? Naveen, I feel like there was another post prior to that he posted that just listed them on Facebook.
Yeah, but then he explained it, I guess.
Okay, well then, yeah, I guess you probably just read the explanation. Just do that.
So, Navri posted on our Facebook, I've been watching Polaris ever since it was the game station. I love the podcast. I love their podcast.
Rooster Teeth again.
Rooster Teeth need not be justified. Dexterity bonus because Dodger gives awesome game news. Total Biscuit because I like the review and they contain no BS. The or he or his, I don't know, it was a typo.
I don't know.
Anyways,
It's all good.
And lore is funny. Also, I learned things about games I normally didn't know before. Interesting.
All right. Thank you, Avery.
Thanks.
I'll take Eddie Goldleaf, and if you are another guild, Eddie Goldleaf, I don't know who you are, and I'm sorry. But on Facebook said, my gaming YouTube tastes usually follow the game I'm playing most. Right now, that's Guild Wars 2. So I'm definitely tuning into you guys. Does that count as one, or do I get another 5? Anyway, here goes. I came across I Am One and I Am Legion. That's a complicated
In
name.
one
was
word.
pretty- Yeah, that was pretty
Yeah.
impressive. Like, because I was like, I am one knee and what?
I Am One and I Am Legion. He has great oh, that makes sense for Necromancer. He has great necro-based builds and other info to help players. His Liadri video is just indicative of the kind of person he is. Too bad I was not good enough to beat her yet. Well, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to.
Maybe next year.
Because she's gone. But Wooden Potatoes, love his lore and his current LPs with Matt Visual. Sir Kuroshi, he's a little bit or a lot trollish, but just hilarious to watch too. I'm using his Shout Warrior build, Total Biscuit, although I concentrate on one game mostly. I like to see what else is going on, and TB keeps me in touch. I used to watch the Hex Out of Yazcast, and I would check in on their videos from time to time. Honorable mentions to Dolphy, of course, but her channel is a given, right? And I like Ayan Maiden too.
Ayan Maiden. I don't know that person.
All right, Bromms, you get an easy one.
Awesome.
Mary Knights.
Yeah, this is from Mary Knight. I watch these. The J-Wits. Love his Pokemon videos and really nice news feeds. Tobuscus?
Tobuscus. Oh my god, it's Toby Games. This is his other channel.
Oh, okay. Well, then Naveen knows. He basically says the guy's funny. Pokemon, because he likes Pokemon.
Hey, that's she. No, and I.
Sorry. I'm very sorry.
That's the official Pokemon channel. Just put that out there.
Right. Lore, they're so funny, and I don't have to play bad games to get a recap of what it's about. And I save the best for last. There's that CoTPodcast again. That's so weird. Have a hard time fitting in the live show, and to be honest, not sure where it is. That's my answer.
Well, twitch.tv/chroniclesateria. What?
Yep. Every Thursday night.
Naveen, you get a super easy one.
I get a super easy one?
Yeah. Like, why? I don't know.
Okay.
Have fun with the name.
Okay.
She-
I'll give it a try. I'm usually pretty good at this. Okay, so Charlotte Gwilling Grant.
Sure.
Or CGG. Represent.
CGG.
So she basically lists 5 channels: Wooden Potatoes, Mad Visual, Delphi Cleric, Tales of Lumen, Charm Tainted Lore. Charm Tainted. Just Charm. We all know who Charm is. Charm
Yes.
Tainted Lore.
Most of those,
I-
I'm not sure about Tales of Lumen, but the other ones are heavily Guild Wars 2 related. Obviously, Wooden Potatoes, Mad Visual, Delphi, and well, Charm isn't necessarily Guild Wars related, but has been lately.
Yeah. Good on her.
Yeah. All right, I'll read the next one,
All right.
and it's by our very lovely Wonder from Down Under.
Casey!
It says, "Heart, you guys, y'all kicking y'all. I don't
Y'all.
Y'all kicking serious ass. I'll be watching today too, and sorry about my answer being so late. Total Biscuit. Total Biscuit is just a great force for good in the gaming industry. He's a level-headed, realistic person who wants to fight for consumer rights. I especially love him because he's focused on PC gamers. He's taught me many things about the gaming industry and healthy consumer habits. Whenever I want to jetpack off the world, I go to his channel to remind me that some people are still decent." Angry Joe.
I thought we were doing
Angry
that.
Joe is a great reviewer. Whenever he does videos, you can tell he loves doing it. He really gets into reviewing and makes his videos wholeheartedly. It's fun to watch people have fun. He also focuses on giving well-informed reviews and also comments on whatever controversy may surround the game. When a game is bad, he gets mad, and he often finds comedic ways, including skits, to express his anger. I would like to point out that's also his review of Guild Wars 2 is pretty good if you want to point somebody to like someone that's fairly famous that reviews games. He couldn't say enough good things. It was more of a Happy Joe reviews for Guild Wars 2.
Oh.
That's awesome.
Although he did accidentally, I forget what he called the Order of Whispers, but he didn't call it the Order of Whispers. So he called it the Order of Shadow or something. Whatever.
Blasphemer.
So it's all good. I'm gonna guess that's Nerd Cubed, not Cubbed, but we'll go
I
with.
like Cubbed better.
Let's go with Nerd Cubbed. It's about baby nerd bears.
Our games
Cubbed.
are unbearable. Anyway.
Nice.
Good one.
Also does reviews, but in a more Let's Play style. Or Let's Player style. I don't know what Let Player is, but it's okay. We love Casey anyway.
I need some player style.
He's incredibly funny and witty, and I always find myself in fits of laughter at his videos. Probably the only YouTuber to do a 2+ hour long road truck simulation and be completely hilarious and interesting the whole way through. Every now and then he pops up with something profound to say about the gaming industry or just life in general. Also, that English accent.
Come on.
PewDiePie.
Say it.
I know people love to hate PewDiePie, and I certainly don't watch him for inspirational or quality content. I don't want that every hour of the day. He makes me laugh at his stupid antics, but also exposes me to a lot of new/indie games I wouldn't see otherwise. I watch YouTube to be either entertained or informed, and he's a big part of the entertainment side.
It's
And finally-
PewDiePie?
PewDiePie, yeah.
Why was I pronouncing it PewDiePie every time? For the longest time.
It only could have been since last week, right? Because I only introduced you to it last week,
It's a long time.
I guess.
To be fair, it does look like PewDiePie, but
And he does spell it with a capital D. PewDie, but it's PewDiePie.
Yeah. I was
Anyway.
misled.
yes.
That's what I say. So, whatever. Wooden Potatoes. I loved lore videos and not to mention Dat Voice. He's lower at the moment because he's doing first impressions, let's plays, and I have other YouTubers who deliver the same content to me. But when he focuses on lore, he's still fantastic. He often picks up things I've never thought about, and I really enjoy listening to someone who knows their stuff. Thank you, Casey.
You know, I have a question.
Sure.
Wooden Potatoes. Does he talk in real life just like he talks in his videos? That would be freaking exhausting.
You mean like I didn't think that fast.
He does.
It should be.
It's
should be.
super fast. I'm gonna
Well,
ask him.
You should.
Yeah. I'm gonna call him. Yo, homie! No, he's not my
Alright.
homie.
Bromms, you get a la Cartolina.
A la carte. Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
Not in any particular order, but Mega 64. These guys are hilarious. They had me for sure with their Castlevania skit. It's really dumb humor making fun of not only games they hate, but games they love. Hey Ash, what you playing? Another hilarious skit-based YouTube channel on games. The characters they play really stuck with me. If anyone hasn't seen Hey Ash, what you playing, you have to check it out. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire life. That's me saying that. Sorry, I'm not reading that.
Oh.
Yeah, it's awesome. Is it Mabby GW? I'm assuming.
Maybe.
I started watching them during the beta, but this channel has a lot of Guild Wars 2 time-lapse environments, and I think it shows just how much is in the game that we don't really look at otherwise. Wooden Potatoes, I love the amount of lore he does. That's pretty much the only reason I've watched this channel ever. He also let me use one of his videos as the intro to my Guild Wars 2 panel at MomoCon, so I'm a little biased here. That's pretty cool. And CoTPodcast. Not because I'm sucking up or anything, but because I genuinely love to sit down and listen to the podcast every Thursday night and tuning into the extras you guys put out. I have a lot of fun watching the COT channel. So thanks very much.
Thank you.
I have a
Claire.
lot of fun watching you too. What?
Yes.
I mean,
Through your window.
what?
I mean, no. What?
Huh?
We don't even live
Thanks,
in the same
Anacardo.
state. Yeah. So next up, I guess we'll do. We're gonna go through ours. You guys want either way? You want to go first, or I'll go first? Doesn't matter to me.
You can go first.
All right, my top 5. Not in any particular order, but this is my 5. It was a little bit difficult for me to pick the last one. But did you know, or DYK? But did you know gaming? Most of mine you'll see are a lot of more theoretical kind of stuff, and I love Did You Know Gaming because it's a lot of lore and interesting things about games, trivia and stuff you might not know. And I know, Bromms, you've watched Did You Know Gaming before, and they don't put out often enough for me, and that's a little bit of a pain. But if you do go to DYK or didyouknowgaming.com, they do post gaming trivia every single day. They will tell you that at the end of every single one of their videos. But so Did You Know Gaming? So that's one of mine.
It's a lot of really cool stuff that you wouldn't necessarily know about, like, really popular games, too. That's what I like about it. Like, they have one for Pokemon and for Legend of Zelda, and there's stuff in there that even if you're, like, a hardcore fan, you can learn stuff from it. It's really cool.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, like Jex said here in the chat, it is more trivia than lore, but there is some lore. So that's mine. That's number 1. Number 2 might be a little surprising to those of you who only know me from CoTPodcast, but it's T Martin, who, for those of you who don't know who T Mart is, he is a pretty much solely first-person shooter, Call of Duty-based channel. And I guess a lot of you guys might not know that about me, but I love me some Call of Duty. I love first-person shooters, specifically the Infinity Ward side of Call of Duty, not Treyarch, just my personal opinion. But I found him when Modern Warfare 3 first came out, and his videos are super informative. The things he does in-game are crazy, where he'll compare different weapons and different loadouts and really sit there and analyze things. Like, how many videos I don't remember of him shooting at one spot on a wall to test the actual accuracy in the game versus the actual gun. You know, stuff like that. Like, crazy analysis. And, like, if you start the game here and throw a grenade and bounce it off that spot, and that spot, it'll land at their spawn and kill the whole team. It's like, does this stuff? But, you know, and he's one of those people that I do find myself excited whenever he puts out a new video, especially now. He does kind of do coverage of, like, he's covering the new console launch, and he gets to go to a lot of the cool events for those types of games, so he gets to see that. And, you know, he did just put out, like, he gets stuff ahead of time and gets to check that out. So, T. Martin. He also does some shows on... He was hired by Machinima to do, like, a gameplay tip, like, for noobs, Call of Duty for noobs. But anyway, and he seems like a cool kid. Just 19 years old, living it up through YouTube. My dream would be nice, huh? Move out of your parents' house, get a brand new apartment, not have to do anything but YouTube for the rest of your life to survive. You don't have to work. Must be nice.
Yes.
Number 3, just found these guys recently, the National Dex. It's a Pokemon-based channel. They put out a show at least once a week. Their show, The Dex, is they pick a random Pokemon. They do take suggestions, so if you have one you like, make sure you send it. But they tell you they describe the Pokemon from Pokedex entries. They talk about interesting lore surrounding that Pokemon. They do a segment, whether it be good Pokemon science, bad Pokemon science, Pokemon etymology, things like that. Then at the end of the show, they give you all the most used battle strategies for that particular Pokemon, and then some random strategy. Every 5th episode, they do a training tip episode to teach you about different aspects of Pokemon, and every Tuesday, they do a Versus, which is actually the inspiration for COT Versus, where people suggest Pokemon teams for them to fight with, and then they battle it out and stream it live. So, definitely check them out if you're a Pokemon fan. Another one that I found recently, The Game Theorists. I love this channel. I don't like, I know of Gaijin Goomba other than this, but I love the game theory pieces of it, which are ridiculous theories. Like, one of them was linking every single game in, like, the universe, video game, into one universe and how they're all tied together. Like, Mario was in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out as the referee, and then Mike Tyson was in this game, and that links to this game, and how they're all connected. That was one of them. He'll go behind, like, the science of, whether or not a warp pipe could actually work, and the time travel and chrono trigger, and how that actually works in relation to real-world science, and all sorts of crazy things like this. So I definitely check that out. I really enjoy game theory. One was about how the most recent one was about how games predicted the future.
Huh.
And it's kind of eerie how realistic it is. Also, figure this might be a shameless plug to get more guys to watch it, but he did one to figure out how female characters in video games, which ones have fake boobs and which ones have real boobs.
Wow.
His most watched video, and it was interesting.
That's shocking.
What?
Based on real-world science and physics and measurements and pixel distances and things, crazy. Which characters? You know what you wouldn't think? Based on, I'm not going to spoil it, but let's just say characters that are wholesome and characters you would think would be all natural by science, fake. Shame on you, Nintendo. And number 5.
It's Mario, isn't it?
Yes. Let's just say Dr. Mario might not just be curing viruses, he might be doing some plastic surgery.
Oh,
Those
geez.
pills are full of Viagra.
Anyway. So, the final one is Brentalfloss, who some of you may know. He had a really popular webcomic that unfortunately just closed. They wrapped after 2 years. But if you've ever watched any of those video games that are like, what if blah 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 game song had lyrics, and he makes these really funny parody music videos. So I would definitely check out Brentalfloss. So those are my
Interesting.
Captain Bromms Sparrow.
I had to, yeah, okay.
Why is the rum gone?
What?
But why is the rum gone? Why is the rum gone? Captain Bromms Sparrow? Come on!
Sorry, I didn't know what you were talking about. Okay, anyway, my first one is Jontron. He does mostly reviews of games, but he does them in a very stylistic way, I guess is the best way to put it. He's one of the funniest people I've ever seen in my entire life. If you haven't watched anything by Jontron, I definitely would recommend checking it out. A lot of the games he reviews are kind of older Nintendo games, like he does one on Star Fox Adventures and some old Super Nintendo games, but all of his videos are awesome. I watch them all the time, which is kind of sad maybe, but yeah, they're great. Second is Total Biscuit, which was mentioned before. I've bought more games from watching Total Biscuits. They're kind of reviews, but they're more like first impression videos, so they're not quite as they're not quite as strict as reviews tend to be. But he also has a unique opinion on things. There was one game he just reviewed recently called Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. And he said it was one of the best games he's ever played, which he got a lot of flack for. But his reasons were awesome, and he's one of the few people that I feel has similar opinions on video games that I do. And so the games that he likes are typically games that I like as well, so we share a lot of opinions there. Cinemassacre, which is also the Angry Video Game Nerd, which is really popular, so I wouldn't be surprised if everyone has heard about it. He's just awesome. Lag and I were talking before the show. We started watching him around the same time on the same video, which was for the old Nintendo game Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And he does a very hyped up, like, angry version of these old frustrating Nintendo games, but it's in a way that everyone that has played those games can relate to. And so if you've ever played an old game and gotten frustrated by it, it's probably on that channel, and definitely check it out because he's hilarious.
18 plus for sure for language.
Yeah, absolutely, but worth it. The next one on my list is Vatya Vidya, specifically because he does a series called Prepare to Cry, which is a play on the Dark Souls Prepare to Die theme. But it's all Dark Souls related lore, which is one of my favorite games, and it's interesting because it's a lot of stuff that I had never picked up on in the game, and it's all these backstories on characters and stuff. So if you're not into Dark Souls, it probably won't mean anything, but if you are, it's one of the coolest things to check out because it shows how deep that game is where you wouldn't necessarily notice it otherwise. And the last one on my list is DM Jared. His is a pretty generic gaming channel. He does these things called 1-minute reviews, which are obviously just 1-minute reviews of games. But he also does some more in-depth stuff, and he does some Let's Plays. The one I've been watching recently is a Nuzlocke challenge that he goes through Pokemon White, I think. One of those. Anyway, it's awesome, and he's entertaining to watch. Yeah, that's my list.
All right. Thank you, Bromms. Captain Bromms Sparrow.
Yeah.
Naveen, how about yours?
Well, mine is going to be pretty short and sweet. Number 1, Toby Games, for obvious reason, because the dude is funny and cute, which is a plus. Especially his literal videos. They're awesome. Okay. Number 2, PewDiePie. She used to call it PewDiePie. Oh my gosh. But typically, like, all gaming channels that make me laugh are a big plus for me. So, and I mean, the dude is kind of insane, and he's a pussy, but that's okay. Number 3, Matt Visual. What? I like Matt Visual? Yes, I do. He's more into like Guild Wars 2 stuff, and he does this podcast now with Wooden Potatoes. But he's a pretty awesome dude, and yeah, he's also funny at times, but not as funny as Toby Games, of course. Number 4, Mashimina, for obvious reasons, especially Christopher Walken videos. Those are my favorite. And 5th but not least, and there's a big possibility that no one know him because he's pretty new in the gaming department for YouTube channels. It's Kugo the Mighty. He's the host for Tyria After Dark. But he started his own YouTube channel, and he does a lot of gaming, and it's actually pretty funny. Plus he's cute, so yeah.
He's a cool dude.
Yeah. I like cute gamers, apparently.
That is often how you judge whether or not their gaming credibility is by how cute they are. That's what
true. I know.
Yes.
Everyone know that.
Also, I guess I should point out, just to jump back to Did You Know Gaming that I mentioned at the beginning, it's not one person. It's one channel, but it's not one person that does it. A lot of famous people that I feel are kind of in that same kind of group, like Brutal Moose and Space Hamster and Youngtown and JonTron and the game, Ego Raptor, those guys. They are the ones that do the actual videos.
Right.
Or do the audio over the videos. So it's pretty cool because it's, and that's actually a good way, too, to connect you to other people. Watch one of the Did You Know games. I kind of like that voice. And they're all, I love all those guys, but they are all kind of similar. They have that same kind of personality, I feel.
I'd have to agree with you though. If a gamer would have an annoying voice, I would never watch them. Like all of the channels that I've mentioned, they all have a nice voice, and they're really entertaining, and they have
Yeah.
different intonation. It's not always the same blah 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 blah. So pretty boring. You just fall asleep. So yeah, good entertainers makes good channels.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Oh, shut
All right, again, we mentioned at the beginning, if you're watching us on iTunes, and by watching I mean listening, or you've downloaded us off of the COT Podcast website, cotpodcast.com, tune in live, again, like we said, Thursday nights, 9 o'clock, twitch.tv/ChroniclesLateria. We are here every week.
Yep.
Possibly in the future, we keep talking about it, but it seems like it might come real this time. Maybe once a month, we do a Saturday morning show.
We've been signing up for like 6 months.
Once a month? I'm thinking Saturday, 10 a.m.s once a month.
It'll be like
Do that, right?
Saturday morning cartoons. It'll be
Yeah, it'll be like that. We'll have to go back and if we can find non-copyright infringement, like, Saturday morning cartoon, like promos, and play that at the beginning while the theme song's playing.
And then you can do your moral for the day thing.
I know. Exactly. This, we should make our own, or have somebody make us the more you know, but like instead of like the star, it's like the COT logo going by in like Guild Wars font.
Please,
We
no
should do that.
rainbows.
We really need a brainstorming session to figure out all the crap that we need to come up with.
There's already too much crap.
I know. We'll work on it. But anyway,
Yeah.
so let's go for some shout-outs here. I've got one to Blackgate, being the first server to defeat Tequatl. 4 for you, Blackgate. You go, Blackgate.
It is pretty impressive. It's a tough fight, so being the first to bring it down, getting all the strategy and stuff together was pretty awesome. They had a huge like Mumble channel to get everyone together, and yeah, they did it right, which is awesome. So good job.
Naveen, shout-outs?
I do, but first I would like to say this episode of COT Podcast is brought to you by the meme. The Patrick meme. Why don't we take the guild roster UI from Guild Wars 1 and put it in Guild Wars 2? Please.
That was a very good voice impersonation.
Thanks.
Yeah, you should cosplay Patrick sometime.
No.
I'm not a crusty crab.
But yeah, I hate the guild UI. Anyways, yeah, I do have shout-outs. I have 3. One is not a game-related shout-out. It's actually to my son, Aiden, who's 2.5, who thinks he has no fall damage in real life. He took his McQueen car thing that he sits on and just, rolls with his feet and stuff. And he went straight down the stairs to the basement.
Oh no!
Ended up in the ER. He's fine. But yeah, no foul damage, apparently. Okay, did I mention last week that we have 400 likes on Facebook?
I don't think you did.
Oh, that's awesome.
We have 400 likes on Facebook. Thank you so much, everyone. And to those who do not like us on Facebook, go right away. Facebook.com/ChroniclesLateria. Yeah, we have memes. And how did I miss this? Last week, we had a mail, and I totally missed it. It's from Maris Thorne. Remember that person that I was talking about that when I went for the first episode of Teary After Dark was like, oh my god, I have a nerd crush on you, and then he presented his wife to me, and I was like, okay, ox. He sent us a mail, and he said, oh my god, the Naveen knows the name Maris Thorne. I don't know if there's such a thing as the Naveen, but yes. And then he did a /swoon. How do you swoon?
Oh, that was quite a swoon.
He says, thank you so much for the shout out and make my day. By the way, while I'm here, I want to promote a random act of kindness. I work a lot and try to fit gaming in as much as possible. So to learn about the news of the game, I listen to Guild Wars 2 podcasts while I play or drive to work. So my random act of kindness vote goes to the good people of COT. Aww. Court of Thrones. Court of Thorns. Could have... Oh, Chronicles of Tyria.
Yeah, those guys.
Guildcast, MMO Reporter, and of course my home guild podcast, Tyria After Dark. All the effort you podcasters put in selflessly makes my gaming experience more streamlined and efficient. Truly, I want to thank you all for what you do to build the community of the game and enriching my experience. Maris Thorn, Darkhaven, Guild Tempest Nox. Thank you so much for these kind words. That's really nice. I like it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. It, feels good to have someone acknowledge the hard work we actually do. They don't know what goes on behind the show. Like, we work all week.
Yeah, there's a lot of work goes on.
It's interesting that he said selflessly, though, because, like, I just bought a totally new car on all the profit we made. I don't know about you guys. I mean, my bank account is literally 5 figures right now, including the zeros after the decimal.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You weren't supposed to say! Goddamn!
Oh, crap. Sorry, we don't know.
Show cancelled. No, but that was nice, and I'm sorry I totally missed that mail last week, so there you go. Get your other shout out.
All right. Bromms Beard the Pirate, what do you got?
Yeah. My shout out goes to Sanctum of Raw, because we fought them last week in World v World, and they destroyed us in a very bad way, which was nice because, well, it wasn't that nice, but it made us humble again, which we needed, I think, because our server is kind of at the top of our tier group, so we usually do pretty well. But going up against Sanctum overall made us realize that we still have a long way to go. So it was nice to be humbled a bit, I think. Although my repair cost doesn't agree, but whatever.
Bromms like to be punished.
All right, moving on.
Something like that.
So we've got some news this week. Sorry about that.
Whoa, are you okay?
Did you guys happen to see the Looking for Group live stream that happened that ANET put on?
No.
I watched the first bit of that and then I got distracted.
I like to testament to this or make a little kind of comment on this because originally I was like, if you remember last week I said like, what do I care about the Looking for Group tool? I have the guild, which is my Looking for Group tool, which basically it is. But after watching that video, I'm actually pretty excited for it because it does seem to be fairly robust. And it seems like it definitely will make playing the game a lot easier. And I like the way they have merging of parties and all the different options you have. So it will be very good once it's fully implemented. It is in beta form right now. Random selected players do get access. As far as I can tell, there is no criteria for who gets selected and who doesn't. It just kind of happens.
Mm.
So if you've got it, congrats. If you don't, well, just hold out because it will be there eventually. So check out that live stream. It's pretty interesting. I think like I said, I definitely think it'll make the game a lot easier to play. All right, the new release page. I don't know if you guys seen this. There's a little teaser image for the next release. We'll know more about it the 24th. That's this coming Tuesday for the release that's going to come on the 1st of October.
Yeah, you were saying that there's a lot of controversy about it right now. Which is
mostly just because people can't decide is that a lot of people think it's Cave? Possibly?
Maybe.
Nah.
A lot of people think it's a Sylvari, then a lot of people say it just looks like a human to me.
I'm going to definitely say it's a Sylvari.
I'm
Whether
gonna
it's
definitely say
Cave
it's
or
a
not, I don't
human.
know. Well, how does it feel to be wrong, Naveen? Because it's a Sylvari.
I will
Whatever.
the controversy that I've heard, I will say look at the forehead. It seems Sylvari.
Carolina in the chat room says it has a fern for collarbone.
It has, if you look really close, you can see like some shiny stuff on the forehead. And
But it's only
yeah, I don't
concept art. I don't know.
know.
It's just like people thinking Scarlet was human and she was Sylvari. So now they're introducing a new character. I doubt that they will introduce a new Sylvari.
I don't know. Ultimately, she's got glowy green eyes, and
Ooh, a Necro can have glowy green eyes.
no, they can have glowing white eyes.
I just want it to be something with the Nightmare Court because they've been forgotten for way too long, in my opinion.
Lula Bees and the astoundingly bright colored name in the chat. And that's nothing of their fault. That's just Twitch picking awful colors. Says that looks like human hair.
Yeah.
See, I think it looks like the Sylvari, the hairstyle that it's one of the more popular ones. I think it's the one I have on my character. It looks like that.
I think
to
you're
me.
trying to convince yourself, Bromms.
I don't know. I think that's exactly what it is. I actually talked to the person who drew it, and they told me it was a Sylvari.
Oh, okay.
So there, I have the inside scoop.
I drew it. I'm telling you, it's a human.
You drew it.
People are saying that in the chat are saying they think it could be Cade based on concept art. Navary in the chat says Cade will join the Nightmare Court. You can quote me on that. If you guys recall from the personal story, there's that one mission where you kind of go into the future and you view, the Pale Tree takes you to the future to view stuff. Cade tells Fallon that she will fall into Nightmare for her. I don't know if that was a theoretical thing that didn't happen because we defeated Zaitan, or if that's still going to happen no matter what, because there was fighting between Ritlock and Logan in that one, and fighting between Zoja and Air, and everybody seems to be buddy-buddy by the end, but there was never any real fighting between Cade and Fallon, really, in the story, so...
I always kind of thought that was a what-if kind of scenario type thing, but who knows? I mean, maybe we have to stop her from falling to the Nightmare Court, which would be kind of cool, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a really big fan of Cave.
Neither am I.
It'd be kind of cool if we didn't get another new character. I hate to say that, but...
It's October 1st. Halloween
true.
is one of the biggest deals for Guild Wars, in my mind. I think Halloween and Winter's Day, regardless of what they do throughout the year with expansions, new content, whatever, Halloween and Winter's Day are two of the biggest things that Guild Wars is known for, and it's gonna be important. So, This is October 1st. If you recall, last year, we had like a week before Halloween, or so, 5 days before Halloween, was, the build-up to Mad King Day. Right?
Yeah.
Now it's different. Now we're getting a release every 2 weeks. So we're going to have the 1st of October, which will be what this is about. And then we'll have the 15th of October. And then we'll have the 29th of October. So there will be the way this it's structured, there will be 3 updates within the month of October. So, does this something unrelated? Does this start Halloween? Does Halloween start on the 15th and then finish out with the 29th? I don't know.
Live Spartan in the chat room says, look at the image link and it will say TA next hero Yen. TA.
Yep.
Probably Twilight Arbor if I had to guess.
Yeah.
But maybe. I mean, TA is pretty word I can't think of. Ambiguous. There we go. That's the word.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'd like to think that maybe we'll have, again, and I constantly harken back to the Lunatic Court as one of my absolute favorite additions to the Halloween experience that Guild Wars added. Arena added for Guild Wars 1. I think it would be great to see the Lunatic Court team up with the Nightmare Court, and they can be courts together.
To be court buddies.
Yeah.
Court buddies.
Yep.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
I guess we'll see. But, so anyway, like I said, you can see that there could be some controversy there.
Uh-huh.
Because people don't really know what's going on.
What's Sylvari look like? Naveen?
Bromms.
JK's.
Anyway.
Don't
So that's
hit
that.
me, Naveen.
Kristen Perry? Yeah, Kristen Perry, who was one of the main art directors and designers here for Guild Wars 2, who's also the person who Riso's be charged with redesigning the Sylvari a year before launch. did a live stream not that long ago where she talked about the art process and what kind of work it takes to come up with new designs for characters. And she debuted a really cool-looking Rasta-style Fern Silvari haircut, along with a new male Silvari face that kind of had a goatee that was like, rather than built out like hair grows, it was kind of cracked in like bark.
Ew.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And it actually lights up around that beard when it goes dark.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's super cool.
Wow.
Yeah, it looks really sweet. I don't particularly like that hairstyle on like a male Silvari. I think it looked cooler on a female Silvari. But she shows you some of her concepts for new hairstyles, and some of them look ridiculous, like super awesome, and I hope they make it into the game.
Yeah.
She does say, however, she can't tell us how or when we're going to get these new hairstyles in the game. We will get them. We'll get that new hair and that new face and probably additional stuff like that, but we won't know when or how. So,
Yeah,
thoughts are only in. It'll probably be added into the makeover kits. That's what I think.
probably. That's fine.
Now, I actually had a conversation with Casey about this the other day, and she said, "Do you think they'll do that? Make people pay for it?" And I said, "Well, if they add it in for new characters, it means you're going to have to make a brand new character to use that. If anybody who has an existing character wants it, they're going to use the makeover kits and stuff anyway."
Yeah.
That's what they've done with their previous release, like the Norn hairstyles that they released with the whole Flame and Frost. Those you could only get by using the makeover kit. There was one other too. Was it a human hairstyle or? I don't remember. There was another one that was the same thing though, if I remember correctly. So yeah,
You can get the color hair and color eyes, and that's only through makeover and hairstyle kits.
Right.
So I think that's probably okay, because like I said, it's really only going to be useful for what's it called? Those are only going to be useful for people that already are making brand new characters. Most of us are probably going to take our existing character and apply that to it. So.
And if I remember correctly, don't you get a total makeover kit in one of the achievement chests? Because I think you do.
Yeah, I think you might. Yeah.
So that's cool.
It might, but it might be a random gem store item. I'm not sure though.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Just a quick update. A lot of people, and by a lot of people, I mean at least Naveen, mentioned Matt Visual as one of their favorite gaming channels. He just recently got to do a tour of the ArenaNet office.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely recommend watching his video from PAX where he interviews Colin Johansson, because it's hilarious. But he gets to walk around the ArenaNet office, and you get to see how awesome it looks on the inside. Ruby and Regina took him all around. So that's pretty cool. And they actually flew him out there, which is kind of cool. ArenaNet flew Matt Visual out to have him go to PAX. Fly us out. Let us go to PAX.
Yeah, so you get to see where we all want to work eventually.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm not jealous or anything. Pfft.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Clearly not. The last little bit I have is they just put out, I guess, ArenaNet. I'm not sure where it went. I guess it was on the official forums. The October 15th patch that I was kind of just talking about what the story is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about a lot of balance previews and updates. And this is kind of the things I talked about last week that came out of the State of the Game review, like the trait tooltips and the skill tips that all kind of interact with one another.
Mm.
They're going to add, like I said, the new kind of floating things when you get hit with condition damage. Tab targeting is going to target, champions and legendary enemies before lesser enemies. It'll target, player characters over turrets or like pets. But it will, like, if you're worried about PvP, it won't prioritize like Mesmer clones, so you'll still have the chance of accidentally targeting, the wrong thing.
That's such a good thing to hear, because one of my bugbears lately in World v World has been you want to try to get a hit on the champion that guards the keeps, because they drop the champion boxes now, and you want to get credit. But good luck trying to click on that champion in a sea of green and red names. It's impossible, and if you try to tab target, you're going to miss it every time.
Yep.
So yeah, it'll be nice for that to focus on things like that.
They're going to split Ranger pet, or pet in general, summons and pet or HP between PvE and PvP, so that your pets are going to get a buff in PvE without making them crazy strong in PvP side. This one, I'm not sure I agree with it, but I guess it kind of makes sense. Launches will be stun breakable. So if you have something that like launches somebody up in the air and knocks them back, if you hit a stun break mid-launch, you'll be righted back on your feet.
I kind of like this because there are times, like, okay, let's say in a launch animation you go up and then down and you slide across the ground a little bit. You have to wait to use your stun breaker until you hit the ground and start sliding, or else it just goes away and doesn't do anything. So if you hit it in the air, you basically just wasted your stun breaker, which is really frustrating when it's on like a 40-second cooldown. So I think it'll be cool, at least if they made it so that it still activated. If you activated it during that flying time, it wouldn't be so bad. But yeah, to have it just be wasted is a pain.
And they give a lot of just general overviews for the professions about what's happening. Looks like warriors are trying to make shouts more useful for warriors. Guardians, they didn't really talk too much. They just said the Purging Flame skill will remove conditions from enemies as well as you. Rangers are going to get a little bit of love. The Sick'em skill that sends your pet after someone will actually apply the revealed buff to any enemy it hits, so it'll actually knock thieves out of stealth and stuff like that, which is kind of nice.
That is awesome. Yep.
Things are getting condition removal on the bear is going to get a boost because it's not strong enough. Thieves, they're going to nerf a little bit, but they're going to try to make main hand pistol be more useful. Engineer tool belt skills are better. Your turrets are going to target whatever you're attacking. I think they also said they're going to have it so that when you use a kit, you don't automatically lose your back piece. So
I think turret health is included in that pet and summon buff, which would be awesome because they need it so bad.
I believe so. Yeah, I think you're right. Elementalist is going to get a staff buff to make staff more viable, and conjure weapons are going to be more viable. I think they're going to add not only when you conjure a weapon, I think it's going to be a weapon, but it's also going to give you some sort of boon, I think, as well when you pick it up. Mesmer, I don't see much. They're going to try to make mantras more useful, because I think mantras are the only way Mesmers can gain stability. So that's going to be a buff a little bit. And Necro is going to get some boosts in the bloodline traits, as well as make your life force actually detectable, not like just a little bar that you can miss. And then they're going to balance runes and sigils, and maybe try to tweak some grandmaster traits and things like that. So that could be pretty cool. It sounds like they're trying to do more, on the good side of balance, so that's good.
One of the really important things that they noted was that they are looking to make conditions scale better in PvE and World v World, which is huge. Because I know a lot of people, like I don't run condition builds, so it doesn't affect me personally, but I know a lot of people that do have legitimately complained that you kind of start overlapping each other, and it takes away from the effectiveness. So that's awesome that they're doing that.
Yeah. Sorry, my last little bit of news is actually something that I was craving, and thank you to Casey for sending me this. A little information about how Tequatl Rising has something to actually do with the living story. So Bobby Stein, one of the devs, posted on the Guild Wars 2 Reddit, the story component for the Tequatl Rising Living World update primarily deals with helping Rox fight Tequatl and finding dragon minion clues. You can also interact with Master Naru to get a few more details. Naru will remain behind, though Rox will leave the area with the next Living Story release. We're planning to put Living World story summaries into game UI, which would be great. So you could check, I don't know if you guys have played around with the personal story piece of your UI that you can look at. You bring up your hero tab, so I guess they're going to add Living Story into that, so you can go back and look at it. But I can't say when that system's coming online just yet. It's more complicated than that, by the way, but one component of it will include some of these story details. regarding something that bridges the releases more clearly. Design will have to continue to work closely with marketing to hit that sweet spot. Inside the game, we'll continue to explore ways to do this in various forms: cinematics, conversation, lore bits, etc. I realize for a lot of people, the living world release stories don't feel connected. They are, but we're not always making that clear to players, which I get while they're doing it, but I feel that that's a bad move. It's something we've always been looking to improve. That stated, we have deliberately held back some story details for pacing reasons. More dots will be connected in the coming months, so I will continue to encourage folks to let us know what they think with each release. We appreciate the feedback. Tequatl becoming stronger and rocks being present are both tied into the overall living world story. More will be revealed later.
Interesting.
I think that was needed. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it would have been better if it was somehow conveyed in game, rather than, again, like I've mentioned before with my... Whereas right now, it seems like Tequatl sucked and they wanted to update the mechanics of Tequatl, so they did. And, lore be damned. Which isn't really the case. But, I don't know. That's what I say.
Yeah. I'm glad that it wasn't just an update for the sake of an update, that it actually has something to do. Because someone in guild chat actually today asked if the 15-minute window had anything to do with the lore, and it doesn't seem to, but maybe it does now. Maybe it actually makes sense of why the fight is as long as it is for whatever reason. Yeah, it's cool. Hopefully they'll shed some more light on that.
That would be great. Long Bromms Silver. You got some screenshots or something you wanted to
Yeah.
mention?
How many nicknames do you have?
3.
Oh, I have a lot. There was it was a Live Spartan in the chat actually hinted at this a little bit ago. There were 2 new screenshots on the screenshots page on the main Guild Wars 2 website. They are let me here. Like, if you can link those, I'm just going to put that in there. Basically, the first one is a hollow projection of Scarlet inside what looks like the Aetherblade dungeon, and the other one is the dredge jetpack thing from the Molten Facility. So people are speculating that it's a hint toward those dungeons being added to Fractals, but the dredge one specifically doesn't look like what I remember that dungeon looking like, so I don't know if they've revamped those or if that's even what it is. But it's pretty cool, and there's a Sylvari there with some kind of weird water droplet symbol with a heart on it. I have no idea what that is either.
And the NG has, I don't know what's on the NG's back there either.
Yeah.
'Cause that's not
It
a
looks
flamethrower.
like an updated... Well, it's the flamethrower thing, but... Yeah, I don't know.
Back
So
yeah.
it looks like there's a lot of cool stuff basically coming. It like I said, it could be the Fractals. It could be something completely different. But yeah.
I'd like to see a new tier for skills.
What do you mean?
Like a new set of skills. Because that water droplet with the heart sign on it
Yeah.
could be a healing skill.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Like another
maybe.
part of the tree. Or a different kind of tree.
She's definitely in water aspect in that picture. So, yeah, I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Good find.
Naveen, you had... what do we got? Bromms a lot.
Yeah, one of these you actually touched on just a minute ago
He's on
with the
fire.
Tequatl thing. So, I'm just gonna jump to the other one. There was
wait. What was that? Dread Pirate Bromsbert?
yeah, the Dread Pirate Bosbert. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, so Devin Carter on the forum posted a response to someone asking about the new points that we can capture in the Borderlands, and they were asking why don't we get world experience for capping and defending these. And he or she, I think it's he, said it's far too easy to flip them just to farm world experience. One thing that is coming soon is an addition of world experience consumables to the player loot bags, which should make a pretty big addition to the amount of world XP you get from being in the area, assuming that you're killing players. As to adding it to the general capping of the points, we'll have to consider that pretty carefully before we make any changes. But that's pretty significant. It means that they're going to be increasing the amount of world experience that we're going to be getting, which is awesome. Because right now it's not slow, but there are times when it seems to kind of lull. So it'll be cool to get those in the loot bags.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely, like I said, I recommend putting on a world booster. And if you still have any birthday boosters, birthday booster, because the two of those is plus 150% world experience.
It's crazy.
You jump up pretty quick, especially if you're capping. Even supply camps will give you a decent chunk. So if you capture Stone Mist, I could only imagine.
Yeah. Which, based on how things have been going these days, at least on our server, it's a good chance you're going to be capturing it like 5 times a week. Because, anyway, sorry.
Yeah, no. I guess. I think we know what time it is.
Oh, we still
The
don't have
best
a
time.
jingle for that.
Nope. We'll work on that at some point. It's data mining time.
Da-da-da.
We'll definitely, again, we have lots of art related projects we need to work on.
Yeah.
Design and then actually create. But there's not a whole lot, guys. A lot of this that was mined, Dolphy kind of had already, which you might have seen the sunless weapons, which I will post a link from Dolphy's site. But those were mined ahead of time before Dolphy had her hands on them. So that is I posted those. But there were other interesting things in there, like the runes of the sunless. But there's a whole bunch of chat codes too from this. There's a bone fragments of Tequatl, fang of Tequatl, which are accessories that you can get. 3 different aqua breather codes, and a whole bunch of dyes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like 6 different dye colors. Swamp black dye, caustic dye, toxin dye, algae dye, acid dye, and acrid dye.
No green guys.
Yeah, they're all shades of green. I'm not sure. I have some screenshots that I might upload, and then I'll link later on where I managed to snap. Somebody posted all of them in chat, in Snapchat, and Lions Arch, so I snagged those. But I'm not sure if they're in the game yet, because when I looked, they weren't on the trading post, but that might just be because nobody had beaten Tequatl to get them at this point. So
They weren't there today when I looked, so...
So they may be coming. They're green and kind of spooky-ish. So maybe those are Halloween related. I don't know. I'm just super hopeful for Halloween. That's all. Can you tell?
Yeah.
No.
Let's see. What else do I have? One last thing, I think. The only other thing that seemed to be mined other than the dyes this is why I think they might be in the gem store, because one of the things that was mined was called Deathly Dye Pack. Double click to gain a random Deathly dye color. Includes a chance at 1 in 6 exclusive colors. Contains 1 random dye from a pool of 25 colors that includes 6 new exclusive colors. Once dye has been unlocked on your character, you can use it as many times as you want to color armor and town clothes, blah 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 blah. But when you look at those dyes, if someone links them in game, it gives you the weird kind of colored dye that looks like the Flame and Frost dyes, which makes me think that all of those dyes will be future gem store things, probably again to go along with Halloween.
Right.
Especially if they're calling it a Deathly dye pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, also mined from that was the unlimited different pickaxe. We had the molten pick. This was called the Bone Pick, unlimited use for mining all metals. And Bone Pick, Deathly dye pack. Starting to think some Halloween stuff. Starting to think it's connected. I might not just be crazy. I don't know. What do you guys think?
You like Halloween a little bit too much.
Can you really like Halloween too much?
No.
So that's it though. Not a whole lot really, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, that's how data mining is going to be for at least the near future, for the time being, I mean. So.
Yeah. I also want to point out that came in this patch real quick. the Vigil Mega Laser finisher. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
No.
It's hilarious.
It's awesome. If you guys have ever seen the Tequatl Mega Laser, it's a shrunk down version of that, and when you go to finish them, the laser falls on them and hits them. And then it flips up in the air and then laser blasts down on them. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
It's pretty rad, yeah.
Yeah. One of the better ones that I've seen. Well, that's it for data mining, and nobody said anything to us before, but we never picked a winner for question of the week. We just kind of ran through them, and everybody was okay with that.
Cool.
So,
We could have kept that gold, man.
you know, I could
Why'd you
have
have
kept
to
that
say something?
because someone would have said it at some point. Carolina would have said it. She would have said, "No question of the week this week," and then would have went, "Wait a minute, no question of the week before," and I would have said, "Okay, you caught me." So, right. Let's figure out who are we gonna give it to this week.
Okay. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 answers. People in the chat room have to come up with a number from 1 to 8. And the number that shows up most often will win. But you don't know which order it was, do you? You don't remember. I am waiting for the numbers. We have a 4. We have a 3.
We had 22 people watching. Come on, guys.
We have a 5.
They're all gonna pick different numbers.
3 is my favorite number. Yeah, I know, right? We have a 6.
6.
We have
And a 2. They're doing it on purpose now.
Yep. That's okay. Oh, we have a 4.
Oh, there's a
2
5.
fives, 2 5s.
Oh, another 4.
2 5s and 2 4s. OMG, says
And then
Casey.
OMG. OMG is not a number.
This is why we kicked her off. She can't figure out her OMGs from her numbers.
Oh. Use a meaning.
Yes,
There's no more numbers? No more numbers? No more numbers? No love for 6? 6.
Oh, no.
Two
It's
2
6.
5s.
We have 2 5s, 2 4s, and 2 6. Someone
And 2
type
3s.
No,
Oh,
Carolina.
no, there's only 1 3. I was tricked.
3 letters, Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Yes.
So, let's go with.
There are people in here that have not voted. There's a lot of people in here that haven't voted.
You know
Hey,
what? Their vote
don't be
doesn't
lazy.
count anymore. It's gonna be. I'm just gonna give it to 3, 5, and 3. Or was it 4, 5, and 6? They're all gonna win. You're all winners. Let's hope I don't hit 5.
Whoa. 4, 5, and 6?
Yeah, they all got 2. So, if you throw the chat to me, we will see who wins. So, actually, what they win: 4, 5, and 6. Whoever you are, I don't know. I don't know what order Naveen picked it in, so 4, 5, and 6 are gonna win. And here we're spinning.
Wow, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Okay, 1 gold. I can deal with that.
So the winners are Navari, Eddie, and Mari Knight.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Mary Knight and Avery, and then what was it? Eddie
Eddie Goldleaf.
Eddie Goldleaf.
Goldleaf. Again, please, if you guys are listening to us, and I don't have your in-game name, please send it to me because I can't get you your gold without it.
Mm-hmm.
Most of you, I do have an Avery and Mary Knight. I do have yours. Eddie Goldleaf. I will try sending it to Eddie Goldleaf. We'll see if that's it. All right.
Aw.
So, guess what, guys? Time to talk about the patch. An hour and 18
Oh, hey.
minutes in, we're going to talk about the patch that came out.
I knew it wasn't going to be a short show.
It's been relatively short.
It's
Consent.
been an hour and 20 minutes almost.
Well,
All right.
blame the listeners for sending us so much mail.
Oh,
It's their fault.
okay. Jesus.
Again, It's gonna be pretty short. We already talked about the looking for group tool. Um, the gem store has a mini Risen pack, which is cool. I guess I've seen them. They're all right. It's a mini Char, a mini Asura, and a mini Norn.
I wanted to
think?
get them, but then I didn't.
Good, cool story, bro.
Can't you mix them all together to get an abomination or
Yes.
something?
Yeah.
And I believe there is a mini Tequatl that you can get out of the Tequatl if you beat Tequatl, which I think would be pretty neat.
I'm still torn on whether I want to pick those up because I like minis and I tend to collect them, but the Risen, I'm so sick of seeing Risen. I don't want one following me around.
Yeah, I know, right?
So I don't know.
More over here.
Yep. Yep.
More come, yes.
We already talked
What?
about the
It's great.
Vigil Mega Laser feature. Super Adventure Box Boombox World 2 Edition.
Yeah, what does that do? That plays the music?
Yeah.
It plays the music from that world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. That's it. You can get World 1. I got World 1 because I like World 1's music.
So...
You just hit 1 through 5, plays the 5 different songs.
So it costs money?
If they weren't
It's a
800 gems per, I think that they would be a lot cooler. But that's what, $10?
SoundCloud. Free.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if I really want to listen to them, I'll go to YouTube. But
Yeah.
I absolutely would have bought those if they were like 100 or 200 gems a piece. But considering you get only one world for 800 gems, that's a lot. That's a lot for that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Up to an additional 4 bank tabs, which is huge.
Yes.
For those of you, additional bank tab storage.
I am excited.
So that's awesome.
Yes.
And then again, like I said, the patch is kind of limited, and there's not a lot of lore. Tequatl got a huge buff. It's extremely difficult. People need to be organized. There's mechanics to the boss, which is nice. You need to defeat Tequatl in 15 minutes or less, otherwise everybody fails.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, that's the main thing is you can fail world events now. They don't just... Like, if no one was there to fight the Claw of Jormag before, he would just sit there and wait for people to come fight him.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's on a half-an-hour timer from the start of the event. If no one kills him within that half an hour, then the event fails.
Ah.
But it's not... It's mostly the big world events, like the... I think it's just the dragons, actually, that get to fail, because I don't think things like the Fire Elemental are on a timer anymore. Or were ever on a timer, and I don't think they are now. I know the temples in Ore are not on a timer. They happen when they happen. But
I can see some of that stuff not being on a timer, but like the dragons, it seems like if you don't stop them, then they would not just stand in place and wait for you. So it's cool that those have timers. Whether or not they're too short, I think is a different question.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly, Tequatl is doable. Several servers other than Blackgate, including Tarnished Coast, have defeated Tequatl. But, it's still a fair minority of servers. But it's defeatable. So that's something.
It's one of those things that you have to just keep trying it until you figure out what the strategy is. And people have to be organized. It's one of the few things where it actually requires everyone in that area to participate. Because if you stand there away from the keyboard, which is what a lot of people have been doing, you're basically making the fight harder without contributing. And in that fight, you can't do it. It requires everyone to participate in something. And I like that. I like that they're doing that. I have a feeling they're probably going to adjust some things because a lot of people are saying that it is too hard right now. I'm still not sure how I fall on that. But it's cool that they put something in the game that feels like a dragon fight. It feels like you're fighting something huge, and it's awesome. So more of that, please.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Haven't had the chance to go yet.
Well, as of right now, you're not missing a whole lot. But, it's cool mechanics, but it's disappointing because, like we said, the majority of the time people don't finish it.
Right.
Yeah, we got him to 1% today and failed.
Ah,
No, no.
jeez.
But yeah, it was fun.
A lot of the other bosses got updates. Some got new loot, added flame mastery in WW. You get cool Tequatl wings if you finish the meta achievement. The what's it called? The Destroyer, the Mega Destroyer got a reskin. Looks pretty cool. And then Bromms, I'll let you talk about it because I did it with you for a little while. The new Ruins of Power in World v World. I still couldn't tell you what the mechanic is because I ran in there and we flipped those things back and forth so many times that I just gave up and started taking keeps instead.
Yeah, essentially how it works is that if you get 3 of those, if I understood them correctly, let me preface with that. If you get 3 of them across any of the borderlands, then you get a buff it's like a buff of 50 to pretty much all your stats, I think. And as you get more of them, like as you capture more, you get more. It goes up by 50. So if you have 4, it'll go to 100. If you have 5, it'll go to 150. So it's cool because they basically replaced the lake in the Borderlands with like ruins and a grove and all this really cool looking stuff. It's awesome to be there. And there's just fights there all the time because people want to own those. And it's typically away from the bigger Zerg because they're focusing on objectives. There's been a lot of complaints about it. Not all of them are not legitimate. So I think it'll need some tweaking to make sure that it doesn't just favor the server that's in front. But it's a really cool addition. I like that they're adding secondary objectives, especially that smaller groups can do, and it's not just following the Zerg all over the place. So I think they're heading in the right direction with it.
I'm gonna go back to my standalone on all these updates. Explain to me the lore how behind an entire lake just disappears and is replaced with ruins that do not match what the underwater structures look like. It's just there's no more water, there's no more quaggins, there's no more crate, there's now ruins in the middle of this. Explain that to me. And don't give me that bullshit that it's the mists and, I don't buy that.
Yeah, this is one of those things where I don't think there's any lore to it at all. I mean, there's ruins and a grove and underwater area. Like, it's kind of a whatever that word, a mishmash, there we go, of a bunch of different stuff. And yeah, Alucardalina in the chat actually makes a good point. It gives you a place in the middle of the map now to set up siege to hit the towers, which you didn't have before, so it changes things up a lot. I was reading on Reddit a little bit today and on the forums about what people thought about it, and there's obviously a lot of people that are saying they're unhappy with it, but the people that are happy with it don't tend to go to forums, so it's hard to tell what the general consensus is. But like I said, I think that there's going to be some tweaking to it. I'm almost positive, but it's cool that they're trying different stuff. I think so. We'll see.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't think there was really much else that happened in this patch. Again, this patch was kind of... They changed the load screen for Sparkfly Fen to make Tequatl look a lot cooler than he actually is.
He looks like a Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah, it's a water T-Rex.
Yep.
It's like we were in Jurassic Park there for a second.
Spared no expense.
Oh.
And again, I'll just link to you guys here in the chat, and we'll put it in the description.
What is that?
I'm the only one. Oh no, never mind. I've seen
No,
that
go
movie
ahead.
too many times. When she's like, she sees the Velociraptor behind a wall, and she has her spoon full of Jello.
Oh yeah, okay. If you had a spoon there, it would have been perfect.
Oh, I do have a spoon.
Yes. See now. Thank you.
Anyways,
Thanks.
yeah.
Thank you for that, Naveen. And actually, while we talk about this, I'm going to quickly upload something to Imgur because I'm very excited as a shout out to us because I went to Dolphy's website and one of the advertisements on the side was Chronicles of Tyria's Cafe Press.
What?
Oh yeah.
Let me just upload that so I can post
Speaking
it.
of which, you guys, look what I got. Ta-da! Drawing with Joel mug.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome. I
That's-
just got my
Coffee tastes
COT
better.
pajamas the other day, and they're super cool.
Nice.
But I didn't wear them today because it's Pirate Day. But I will next time.
I mean, yar.
Yar. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. If you haven't seen the Cafe Press store, you should go there and buy stuff because it's awesome, and you can get pretty much anything you want with a COT logo on it.
Even shoes for dudes.
Even shoes for dudes. Rad
Sorry,
shoes.
it's if you see my that picture, it's got both screens captured. I just posted a link there in the chat, and you can see Brom's lovely face there,
Staring
top.
into nothing.
It is quite lovely, and
all of my like mark links and stuff that are there. But anyway, if you click on if you zoom in on the Dolphy section, you'll see on the right that the Cafe Press store, save 15%, click to redeem coupon, has the Drawing with Joel wall cling, COT sticker, COT men's shoes, and a Mylar balloon with the COT logo on it. How about that?
Okay.
But yeah, guys, again, thank you for coming out and watching. We appreciate it. If you want to stay up to date with what we're doing, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, all that stuff to figure out. That's where we post what's going on. Again, sorry for no COT Lorecast this week. We didn't have time to think of a topic. We were thinking. Couldn't come up with anything.
Maybe it's gonna be a bi-weekly thing.
It might have to be because we've covered a lot. We are planning on possibly doing we're gonna do the COT versus. I'm thinking round 1 will be me versus Bromms. I'm thinking Ranger versus Ranger. That'll be the topic.
interesting.
Ranger versus Ranger. You'll see my style of Ranger, which is starkly different from his style of Ranger, and it'll be Ranger versus Ranger. And maybe when we come up with ours, that'll encourage the viewers to send us topics to play on, and then, maybe we'll have Casey come on and we'll do OG podcast, Naveen and me versus OG podcast, Casey and Bromms,
OG?
original gangsta.
Ah. Jeez. Acronyms.
Acronyms. I know. I had to put that in there. And Caramon says, "Go COT Rangers." We might have to play the Power Rangers theme song throughout the whole background.
Or
Who's gonna be Zordon?
oh my gosh. Nice.
Aye. Alpha 5. Good.
Nice.
But anyway, yeah, I will be starting at some point once I secure a velour smoker's jacket. I will do Master Lag Theater. I have some story time things that are not too commonly known that I'd like to read through in front of a fire with my pipe, sit there and, oh, I didn't see you there. Welcome, Master Lag Theater. And then I'll read you little stories.
That's been in the
Bedtime
work
stories.
for a year.
I actually, for the first time, just found what I actually want to read.
Whoa.
I always wondered about those because if I randomly was at my fireplace, which I obviously don't have, and I turned around and some dude was standing over the camera, I wouldn't be like, I didn't see you there. Let me read you a story on my very comfy couch.
Nice.
If I could get myself some crazy makeup, I could try to do one for like the Crypt Keeper for Tales from the Crypt for
Oh my
Halloween.
gosh.
I had to come up with lots of really bad
Prison
puns.
Lag.
Yeah.
Everyone come.
What's the theme song?
I don't know. Do you guys remember you guys remember the cartoon?
Yes.
Oh, I don't
Yeah, Tales from the Crypt cartoon.
No, I don't. I can't.
It's okay. I love this podcast. I love our fans. Gonna have lots of cool stuff coming out. Hopefully we can do some in-person stuff with you guys in the future if we come up. Go to some conventions. PAX East. I know that's a ways away. It's in like March or April next year. I'm gonna be there. I will be at PAX East.
I want to go.
It's not that far. It's in like Connecticut or Boston. So you just gotta come down this way.
Okay.
whatever that is, southeast.
Yeah.
And then I will be there. So maybe ANET will show up. Probably not, but I can hope.
Yeah.
I mean, it's PAX East, but
Naveen
still.
is confident that they will.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Anyways, I want to go.
Okay. Well, on that note, actually, it's better than the sad note I was going to mention, so we'll end on a happy note.
Oh,
Happy
what was
notes
the
are good.
sad note?
You know, you posted about it on your Facebook too.
Oh.
Yeah. I thought about just outroing with like silence, moment of silence kind of a thing, but it's kind of depressing.
Should I act like I know what you're talking about? Because I don't.
The former.
Well, let's. Oh, great. Okay, now I know what you're talking about. We should add in a happy note. Happy note.
Okay.
Okay. We'll
No
begin
idea.
the show on a sad note next time.
Yeah.
It's like a week-old news, whatever.
So tune in next time.
On this week's episode, we know don't talk about what you should be doing at the end of the show for the beginning of the next show, especially when it's going to be sad.
How to planning.
Until next time.
What?
Music. Well, we'll
Hey,
actually
we
do an
didn't-
outro.
What?
Fine. I figured at that point
I'm so
we
confused.
just kind of killed it already. But anyway, for episode number 63 of the Chronicles of Celia podcast, I'm Lagywn.
I be Bromms.
And I'm Naveen, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. We'll see you next time. I figure we already ruined it enough.
Whoa! A bird. What if it's a mic one?
Burn you.
Oh yeah, I always forget that we're still on video. I'm glad I wasn't like picking that up. We could always do like talk like a pirate day, but pirate from our guild, so it'd be like, I like gold. And